surprised at the suspension?
I really don't have a reaction, towards anything. My main concern was that James Harden was okay, and Oklahoma City is playing for championship this year. He's the second or third best scorer on that team, so I think he's okay, so that's good. Oklahoma City fans and organization, sends apologies to them. He's definitely a key player, and then to the Laker fans and the Laker organization. Just can't wait to get back out there with my teammates and play for a great organization and great fans.
Have you spoken to James, or do you plan to speak to him?
I mean, I see James in the summertime. Sometimes play basketball. Through a third party. I got wind that he was okay. We're probably going to see each other in the playoffs potentially. So I really didn't want to do any direct calls. Stay competitive. But through a friend, they said he was doing okay.
You still work with Dr. Santi?
Huh?
You still work with Santi?
You should probably answer those questions later. It's like a whole nother later.
Did you feel different after watching the replay? It seemed like from Twitter you were different.
Oh yeah, it was. It was a brutal elbow. When I seen it, I'm like, immediately. During that possession, there was so much, passion and, a lot of people mistake, the Metta World Peace name, and I'm out there in that court. That passion is bottled up, and I've been feeling really good. And I got the one dunk that y'all haven't seen that in years. I went straight up, and I got the first dunk over, I guess, most of the team. And then the second one, I got the offensive rebound, bumped Kevin out the way, dunked it, went straight up. And then the third one, fast break. Kevin had no chance, bumped him out the way, went up, dunked. And at that point, I was just way too emotional. It seemed like anger, but it was a lot of passion involved. It was erratic. It was erratic fire, erratic passion. It was way too much. Definitely wasn't meant to, hit him how it hit him. And so that was the play. That's the best way I could describe, those sequence of plays and, my erratic passion.
We talk about.
Today, you said you weren't expecting a 7-game suspension on your podcast. What do you mean by that?
I just don't want to make an excuse. At this point, for the Laker fans, I should really say what's on my mind. I should say what's on my mind for the Laker fans. But I don't want to make an excuse right now. There's only two things that matter. One thing that matters is just wins. In basketball, it's just wins and losses. So there's no time for excuses.
Did you talk?
If I start talking about that, I'm not opening up myself for excuses. And I'm not one to get, excuses. So it's hard for me to speak about the games and, it's hard for me to speak about, the games, how many participants and stuff.
You talked about the passion and what you had. Did you just lose it on that play?
That play was. I didn't lose it. It was bad timing for me, and then physically it was bad timing for Mr. Harden. Who can right up, left hand dunk, and then all of a sudden somebody's right behind you.
Did you know, Metta? How do you?
It's hard to to draw that up and to plan something like that. So it was just the worst timing for me. The way I'm feeling right now, back to that elite level. It's funny because a lot of guys that was able to guard me early, they have no chance now. They can't guard me. My game's feeling great, and it's just the worst timing, for me right now. But I'm happy that James is up there.
Were you specifically aware? Were you specifically aware that it was James Harden behind you, like that it was him? Were you specifically aware that it was James right there and that he was that close?
No,
to you?
not at all. Not at all. Yeah, not at all. Not at all. At that point in that game, you know, like I said, it was just erratic emotion and bad timing.
Thanks, guys.